Good evening. My name's Craig, and I'm going to show you how to take one of these 1987 Lionel Hudsons that they're the last ones made in America, in Michigan. And when they came out, they had put these soundboards to make them chug and chuff, but they sound horrible. And that's why I don't think much of electronic whistles. And I always was a fan of the original 37 through 50 air whistle. And as you can see, this one has no pickups to hook an air whistle to. So basically, you have to get post-war trucks, and we'll get into details later. You can remake them from various different trucks. And an air whistle. Well, the post-war ones are plastic. The pre-war ones are metal. The metal ones can warp and not whistle. But if you get a good working one, either one will work fine. Anyhow, so, some years back, a lot of these came out on the market, and they were like $200 or less sometimes. And it's mostly because of this crappy sound they had, and they have a oil type smoke, that I find horrible. It makes the engine greasy. But anyhow, and we're going to show you in this series how to take one of the first after the war Pils type smoke units and put it right in here. So I'll show you the difference between this and what it's going to become. See, with the spoke drivers, we can make this into 763E pre-war. Only difference is it's not going to have 8 handrail stanchions. It's going to have these. And this thing will turn on a tighter radius. The original 763 needed a 6-foot radius. This one will take a tighter one because the front truck is articulated. The rear truck's pretty much the same. And the tender casting's the same. And these, I made new metal bottoms to mount the whistles and all in. We'll show all that later too. And I think I'll put this on the track and show you what it sounds like. Also, this one, we can put a firebox light in here. None of them had that. And they still, but this motor is pretty much the post-war motor they put in the Hudsons. The pre-war one was more like a skeleton motor. So let's go to turn it off. Okay, now this is one of the converted ones, the 763, and this is the original. And you see, this big front truck was why it can only go on 6-foot radius, and also this limited swing. This one has much more swing, and you can tell by the rollers. The other, now these have both been, well, the original one I restored gunmetal because the finish was poor. Original, all the hand stanchions. And this is the 1980 version. It has some dull coat on the shiny thing, just not make it look so shiny. And there's been a LED red firebox light installed. Pill smoke unit. Well, the original pre-war never had smoke. So you can take one of those gray 785s and turn it into one of these gunmetal engines. And the only difference you'll see is these stanchions. And if you want to, you could grind these off and drill them all. God help you if you mess it up. But this thing, this one that I did, I even drilled this and put the original kind of drop pin in it. And as you can see, it's got the 50 style motor. And this is the pre-war 30s engine in it. This is the one that said New York Central, and it's painted gunmetal. And I'll get into how we make the gunmetal paint. It's basically a gloss black paint with a little silver and shaken up. But to keep the color consistent, you have to spray everything at once because the flake will settle. And the same batch of paint will come out different if it's not done exactly the same way. Now, this has got the new bottom. I had a stamp, so I stamped it. And these are pre-war trucks. Now, those things are hard to come by, but if you can get a hold of the frames, you can make them. And these pickups are the same as the four-wheel cars they had back in the day, and there's lots of those around. So, anyhow, okay, every time Lionel made a vat of paint, whether it was a light yellow or whatever, they can vary slightly. And if the pigment settles out, and when they were dipping trains, you know, I've seen lots of shades over the years. So it's something that's you got to work to achieve. But this one, this Highbird, this one's original, won't turn sharp, doesn't have smoke, no firebox light, but it came with a die-cast tender or a Vanderbilt tender. And this one, it's like the best of all of them. It got pill smoke, firebox light. They all came with conventional E units, so no electronics to go wrong. This one has an air whistle. It's got a metal one in it. Makes it real heavy. So we'll go through these steps, and you can upgrade the gray, keep it gray. You can make it post-war truck, and the drawbar on those, you just use the drawbar off of the original squawky one, and you mount it on the tender, or you can do the drawbar conversion.